Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nice to see you, devotees. Hare Krishna. Om Agena Timirandasya Genanjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri
Recording in
Chaitanya
progress.
Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svarupa Kadama Yamdadati Svapadantikam. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sinubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vas Adigaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Happy Dvadashi. Yesterday was Ekadashi, and now it is Dvadashi. So, we're discussing 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And the first 6 verses, if you wish, you can take notes. Or maybe you have a book, you have a manual where the structure of all chapters is given. Anyway, if you have such book, likely you already have this information. If you don't have, you can make a note that the first 6 verses of 16th chapter is just about transcendental and demonic qualities. I mean, these qualities are listed there in the first 6 verses. And then verses from 7 to 20th, 16:7 till 16:20, the description of demonic nature is given. Very important knowledge for Kali Yuga. And the last 4 verses from 16:21 to 16:24, the way how to escape from this danger of demonic inclinations, how to escape from this banyan tree of material existence by developing divine qualities that ultimately will lead us to Krishna. It is described in verses from 21 to 24. So, verse number 9. Dwarkadish Prabhuji, good evening. Please help us with the verse.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, nice to see you.
Etam distim avastabhaya na samano ipa budaya prabhavanti ugra karmanaha sayaya jagato hita. Translation: following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engaged in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the activities of demonic natures is described. Again, this subject matter has started from the verse number 7. And these unbeneficial, horrible works, Srila Prabhupada usually gives the example of nuclear weapon, slaughterhouses, different wars, and so on and so on. It is Ugra Karma, demonic personalities. They are engaged in these activities because of their nature, and they engage others in these activities, especially if they are leaders of society, if they are politicians. The same way like in Vedic times, Raja Rishi, the emperor of the whole world, like Yudhishthira Maharaja, Parikshit Maharaja, they could engage people in divine activities, in Krishna consciousness activities, the same way modern politicians, modern leaders of the countries, sometimes whimsically they can engage the whole nation in Ugra Karma. That is the danger of Kali Yuga. And we have a quote. We have a quote in this book, which is entitled Srila Prabhupada's Quotes. So in this book, Srila Prabhupada gives an example. It is quote number 9. Ugra karma has come from the Western countries. This godly civilization can be given to the whole world by India. That is India's special privilege, because in other countries beyond India, they're almost Asuri Jnana. It is Asuri Jnana. Jnana means knowledge, Jnana means people. It is Jnana, it is not Jnana. Asuri Jnana and Ugra Karma. The industries and other Ugra Karma has come from the Western countries, but by this way people will never be happy. That is very elaborately explained in the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Dushpura Akanksha. So, Srila Prabhupada emphasizing special privilege which is given to Indian nation. And okay, let's go to the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where we have this famous verse about special privilege and special service which is given to Indians by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Bharata Bhumite Haila Manushya Janma Yara, Janma Sardhaka Kari Kara Para Upakara. It is famous verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 9:41. And here Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, he is saying, one who has taken this birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharatavarsha, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. It should, it should inspire, right? It should inspire that, of course, this knowledge is given by Krishna and by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to everyone, and this society for Krishna consciousness is international society, but at the same time, it would be quite pleasant for Indians to know that they have special instruction from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 9:41. The same way, like for example, we can approach our spiritual master for some personal instructions. We have traditional set of instructions which is given to everyone. Chant Hare Krishna, read books, take prasadam, preach, deal with devotees, associate with devotees, and cooperate nicely with ISKCON authorities. All these things are given. But someone who wants to feel himself really connected with spiritual master through Guru Vani Seva. You know this term, right? Vani, instructions, Guru Vani Seva. So one can approach his spiritual master and he can ask for some special instruction, and if a spiritual master, he sees that this disciple is able to fulfill any particular specific instruction, not only this standard program which is meant for everyone, but if he has some power, the same way like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, just when he have seen Srila Prabhupada first time, he immediately gave him this instruction to preach Krishna consciousness in English language all around the world. So it is not some kind of nationalism or discrimination on the basis of bodily conception when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that Indians they should do this. By Srila Prabhupada's mercy, this order now is given to everyone. But anyway, 500 years ago, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave special attention to Indians, and somehow he decided to appear on the land of Bharatavarsha in both cases. In case when he came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came as Krishna, somehow he decided to appear on the land of Bharatavarsha. It is his divine choice. And we should accept it, right? Like Shri Krishna, he also accepts our free will the same way. Why not? Why not? He also has free will. Supreme Lord, he has free will. It is up to him to decide where he is going to appear. So it is one of the symptoms of demoniac activities. Like when we preach Krishna consciousness, it is all beneficial for everyone. But when demons, they are doing something, especially if they are influensive demons who have some influence according to their karma, then they can make a lot of harm because of their unbeneficial ugra karmic activities, destructive activities. It is one of the symptoms of a demon. Demon, it is not that he looks ugly like Yamaduta. You have seen this picture on the book The Second Chance, like Yamaduta, or in Christianity you have the idea of devils, and devil looks like this. And demon, it doesn't mean that he is also like a devil. It is the state of consciousness. It is not the form of life. It is first of all the state of consciousness. It is about mentality. It is about actions. Naratama Prabhuji, would you like to read this verse?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, good evening.
Kamam asritya dushpuram damba mana madanditaha muhadkrihi vasad grahan pavartante ashuchi vrataha. Hare Krishna.
Translation.
Taking shelter of insatiable lust and absorbed in the conceit of pride and false prestige, the demoniac, thus illusion, are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you see, Srila Prabhupada, many times Srila Prabhupada, he is saying about regulated lifestyle, right? Our life should be regulated. So it is one more symptom of a demon, that his life is not clean, is not pure, and is not regulated. Lust, which is never satisfied, according to the well-known verses from Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, you remember, at the end of the 3rd chapter, the nature of lust is described, and means that they are always unsatisfied, and like Srila Prabhupada, he writes in the purport, they are always full of anxieties on account of accepting non-permanent things. They still continue to engage in such activities out of illusion. Again, we were speaking that they are under illusion, pride, ignorance, or other qualities and harshness that were listed in the very beginning of this chapter. So anxieties, they experience anxieties. It is one of the symptoms that someone's lifestyle is not regulated. Because when our lifestyle is regulated, then we become naturally peaceful. We know what time we should wake up, when we should go to bed, when we should take food, what kind of food we should take. We know all these things. Everything is regulated, and their lifestyle, it is written here. Asuris, unclean habits, induced by pride and false prestige, they create some principles of religion which are not approved by Vedic injunctions. Anyway, they will be following some kind of a practice which they will be calling religion, but it is not religion at all. And as a home task, I would like you to read the story of Vrikasura. Vrikasura demon. It is the story from Krishna book. Vrikasura. How Vrikasura, it is quite well-known story, but anyway, not Vritrasura. Vritrasura, it is from another canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm speaking about Vrikasura, who was worshipping to Lord Shiva in his own way, his own concocted way, and he wanted a very specific benediction. Some of you already have read the story of Vrikasura demon, and the title of a chapter will be like salvation of Shiva, I think. Maybe we can check. Okay, let's check. This story is really wonderful. It is 10th canto of Bhagavatam. You can read it in both Krishna book or 10th canto of Bhagavatam, and here Just let me find this story. Where is this story, by the way? Very wonderful story. What happens if someone decides that... this one. 88. Lord Shiva saved from Vrikasura. This chapter you read. Very interesting story. And you will see how even if demons, they decided to practice some kind of religion and then they concoct something. Anyway, this concoction is destructive for everyone, for themselves, for those who are around. It is the nature of a demon. So we're going back to this Srila Prabhupada's quotes book, and we have one more interesting quote on this regarding this subject matter. It is quote number 10. So Srila Prabhupada, he instructs us, he instructs his disciples, and he instructs everyone to have regulated lifestyle, not to be like demons with their unending desires, lusty desires. Make it limited. On account of this body, there is lusty desire, we cannot deny it, but don't make it dushpuram, never to be satisfied. Unless you live a very regulated life, then it will be dushpuram, it will be never fulfilled. Always desire, kamasya indriya pritih. Don't use it for sense gratification, make it limited. Therefore, according to the Vedic civilization, the lusty desire is there, but you cannot use it except for the purpose of begetting a nice child. We were discussing this subject matter previously. One more quote about dog. Dog doesn't know that dog is chained, and dog unnecessarily experiences dambha, pride. Just like the same example, the dog is very proud, barking. He doesn't know that I'm chained. He is such a foolish that as soon as the master says, come on, so Maya is the master, you rascal, come here. And he is proud, I am something. This is doggish civilization, nashta buddhaya, lost of intelligence. That is also the point regarding demoniac mentality, that they are thinking that everything is controlled by them, but actually they are controlled by material nature. It is the paradox of material life. Living entity comes here to control everything, to control material nature also, and to control other living entities as much as it will be possible. But it goes in opposite way. Living entity becomes controlled by material energy. What is the solution? The solution is to chant holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And now we are going to discuss verse number 11 and 12. Mataji Keshavi Palini, would you like to read Sanskrit and translation?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Chintam aprimeyam cha pralayantam upasvishta kamo prabhogo parama etavat iti nishchita asapasa stair pada kama kroda parayana idhante kama bhagatam anye narta sanchayam. Translation: they believe that to gratify the senses is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, until the end of the life, their anxiety is immeasurable, bound by a network of hundreds of thousands of desires, and absorbed in lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So you see, it is the question of determination. Determination can be in different modes of material nature. We will get this knowledge from 18th chapter. Determination can be in different modes of material nature. And this is particular type of determination when living entity is, is very much determined to satisfy his senses life after life. It is so-called grihavrata. I want to show you this verse in, it should be there, I think. Should be there. Just one moment. Let's check it. Yeah, this one. It is verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.30. 7.5.30, where Prahlada Maharaj, he, I would say, gives instructions to his father. Well, father, he didn't ask for instructions, but because he asked Prahlada Maharaj very well-known question, how everything goes in your school, and what kind of knowledge did you get, and what did you like most from this knowledge. And naturally, Prahlada Maharaj, he is one of 12 Mahajanas. He gives these instructions to his father, Hiranyakashipu. So he is saying, Matirna Krishna Paratach Svatova, Mithobhi Padyeta Grihavratanam. This word Grihavratanam is very important for us. Grihavratanam. Adanta Gobhir Vishatam Tamisram Punach Punash Charvita Charvananam. So Grihavrata means addiction to materialistic or bodily conception of life. Or in this translation, we have where it is here. Okay. It is said in this translation. It is said, because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress toward hellish conditions and repeatedly chew what which has been already chewed. Their inclinations toward Krishna are never aroused, either by the instructions of others, or by their own efforts, or by combinations of both. So, Grihavrata means addiction to materialistic life. But also, our spiritual masters, they explain, and let's see, maybe it is there in the purport also. Just let me check, do we have this word vow here or not? Just let's see. No, it is not here. Anyway, then it will be just explanation given by Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj that actually, because when we're speaking Grihavrata, vrata means vow. Vrata means we promise to do something. Like, for example, when we are in the process of initiation, we give these promises, we give these vows to our spiritual master. So Grihavrata, it means not just addiction to materialistic life, it means particular vow to enjoy material life, particular determination of a living entity that here and now and life after life, I will be enjoying my senses. Such mentality. The mentality which is opposite to the mentality which is manifested in Shri Guru Vandana prayers. Chakshudan Dilajay, Janme Janme Prabhu say. Chakshudan Dilajay, spiritual master gave divine vision. Janme Janme Prabhu say, he is my master. Janme Janme, birth after birth. So it is some kind of determination or some kind of vow that we decided to follow his instructions, not just for some period of time, but really birth after birth. So the same way, Grihavrata, it is the such mentality, such mood that living entity, he or she has this determination. I will be enjoying. I came here to enjoy, and I will be enjoying, and no one will be able to change my mind. I'm very determined like this. like this, because this materialistic, this material world is created for two goals. The first goal is to give living entity the opportunity to try to exploit material nature. It is one of the goals, and another goal is to help him to come back to the spiritual world. So griha vrata, it means those people who are after the first goal only. They are not about the second one. They are about the first one only. Griha vrata. So it is about determination. Different types of determination will be described in 18th chapter, and we also can make such self-analysis regarding ourselves. We can just look inside our mind, our heart, and try to understand what are the things in my life where I'm really determined. Such question we can ask to ourselves. What are the things? You don't have to answer right now. You don't have to answer. You can self-analyze even after the class if you wish, or you can self-analyze it. Self-analyze yourself wherever you like. The question is very good. What are the things in my life where I'm really determined? Where I'm really determined to what are the processes that I really determined to follow, and what are the processes where I have no determination at all, or maybe I have determination but I'm lacking determination. I would like to be much more determined regarding these things. It is good self-analysis, and we're going further, and in next verses. Dvarkadish Prabhuji. Yeah, question? Okay.
These qualities
Yes.
is actually inherited from their previous karma or after their birth with association in the wrong society.
It is the question or it is the point? I didn't understand.
There's a question I'm asking. Is it inherited from the continue from the previous karma?
Yes.
Or after,
yes.
After the birth, because why I'm asking this?
Why?
Why the soul is in the mother's womb, it is praying to the Lord, oh my Lord, I'm suffering inside, and please protect me, and all kind of things. So how does this comes out, get into demoniac qualities?
Well, those, as far as I remember, as far as I remember, these prayers that are mentioned in the 31st chapter of 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, given by embryo, mentioned by Kapiladev, it is only about those who are pious people. They pray. Those who are demoniac, they will not pray when they are in the womb of their mothers. They will not do this. It is only about those who are pious or bhakti, people with some practice of bhakti. Otherwise, how they will pray? They will not pray. Does that answer on your question?
So it looks like it is a born quality. It comes from continuing from the previous karma.
Which qualities?
I mean the demonic quality.
Both qualities are abhijatasya, as we have read in first verses of this chapter. In both cases, in Sanskrit, we have this word abhijatasya, which means inborn. So it can be inborn because we take some qualities from our past, but at the same time, we can acquire qualities if we choose particular association. We can elevate our consciousness or we can degrade. It is up to us and up to good fortune which we have in our life or we don't have. It also, in that sense, it depends on circumstances also. But if we have good circumstances, better to use these circumstances. Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Verses. Bhakti Priya Madhavi Devidasi. Okay, what is the point?
Sorry, last Srimad Bhagavatam verse that you mentioned, please can you repeat? I didn't.
Which one?
7. Prahlad Maharaj.
Charvita Charvana. This Griha Vratanam. 7:5:30.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, 7:5:30. It is also mentioned in the at the end of purport to the first verse of Nectar of Instruction, which you will be studying, because the first verse of Nectar of Instruction, it is about self-control, control of the senses, anger, mind, speech, tongue, belly, genitals, all these things. And at the very end of purport, you will find the same verse about people who have grihavrata, who have determination not to follow these rules, not to follow. You are going to study this in Nectar of Instruction. And verses from 13 to 15, it is the mindset of demoniac people. And I'd like I'd like this verse to be read by you, Bhakti Priya Madhava Mataji, if you wish, if you don't mind.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Idam adya maya labdham, imam prapsye manoratham, idam asti idam api me, bhavishyati punardhanam, asau maya hata shatrur, hanishye chaparanapi, ishvaro aham bhogi, siddho aham balavan sukhi, adhyo abhijanavaanasmi, ko anyo asti sadrisho maya, yakshe dasyami modishya iti ajnana vimohita. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future, more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you see again, the subject matter of religion is used here for sense enjoyment. I will perform some sacrifices, giving some charity, but what is the use of this? Why they are doing this? Just for enjoyment, for their own happiness. And here we have these lines, these words in Sanskrit verse, where it is Ishvaroham aham bhogi, Siddhoham balavan sukhi. Very poetic, very poetic. Ishvaroham, I'm a ruler here, ruler, proprietor, Ishvara. Aham bhogi, I'm enjoyer. Siddhoham, I'm perfect person. Balavan sukhi, Balavan means powerful. Sukhi means happy. I'm powerful, I'm strengthful. It resembles on different kinds of political propaganda. Like it was in Soviet Union, or like it was in Germany in Adolf Hitler times, or any other regimes, such periods of times, where propaganda goes exactly in such way. We're so powerful, we're very much happy, we're very wealthy, our harvest is the best one, and we're enjoying here, and enemies can be the conception of enemies. Usually it is natural element of any political propaganda that we are nice people, but we have enemies. Because of these enemies, there can be problems. Means we cannot accept that these problems are created by ourselves. It will be easier to explain that these problems are created by some people from outside, and these enemies should be killed, and so on and so on. It is political propaganda, demoniac propaganda, asuric propaganda, and we will show you a few examples in the same 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Hiranyakashipu, he manifests such mentality. Like, for example, here, Srimad Bhagavatam 7:8-6. My son Prahlada, you rascal, you know that when I am angry, all the planets of the three worlds tremble along with their chief rulers. By whose power has a rascal like you become so impudent that you appear fearless and overstep my power to rule you? Means, where did you get this power? Hiranyakashipu is asking his son, and son is answering, from the same source from where you are getting the power. The difference between demoniacs and divine natures is that they get the same power from the same source, but they are using in different ways. Someone can misuse this energy, this power by committing ugra karma, by doing some activities, destructive activities. Srila Prabhupada gives an example, not in relation with this situation, but he gives the example which can be used here also, like the same electricity which we use now to speak through Zoom, right? We can use this electricity, we can switch on the heater. If it's cold in our room, we can switch on the heater on this using this electricity, and using the same electricity we can switch on the refrigerator. Refrigerator produces cold, and the heater produces heat. The same electricity transforms to different kinds of energies. The same way, power is given by Krishna, but someone can misuse it, being a demon, and someone can use it to perform devotional service. It is the free will given to everyone by Supreme Lord, by Supreme Personality. 16.16. And Mataji Mira, would you like to read this verse? 16.16.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Aneka chitta vibranta moha jala samarvitaha prashaktaha kama bhogeshu patanti narake ashahu. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Thus perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, they become too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and fall down into the hell. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So here in purport, these things like anger, pride, greed, lust are mentioned here. And what is really important in this purport is that a demoniac person believes in the strength of his personal work, not in the law of karma. According to the law of karma, a man takes birth in a high family or becomes rich or very well educated or very beautiful because of good work in the past. The demoniac thinks that all these things are accidental and due to the strength of one's personal ability. They don't sense any arrangement behind all the varieties of people, beauty, and education. Anyone who comes into competition with such a demoniac man is his enemy. There are many demoniac people, and each is enemy to the others. This enmity becomes more and more deep between persons, then between families, then between societies, and at last between nations. Therefore, there is constant strife, war, and enmity all over the world. So it is symptoms of Kali Yuga, symptoms of demoniac people and symptom of Kali Yuga in the sense that now in this period of time, these opportunities to express themselves is given to different demoniac people. It is the age of Kali, age of hypocrisy and conflicts. And he thinks that there is no law of karma, that it is only because I'm such a nice person, because of that I have whatever I have, just let's remind ourselves about this very famous verse from the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita 3.27. 3.27. Prakriteh kriya manani gunaih karmani sarva shaha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manite. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. So it is how living entity thinks. Kartaham iti manite. It's me who is doing this. Actually, it is typical for almost everyone, even for those who are not manifesting such demoniac qualities who doesn't manifest demoniac qualities so much. Kartaham iti manite. I'm doing this. It is typical for conditioned consciousness to think like this, and what we're doing, we are performing devotional service and reminding ourselves again and again that whatever we can do, we're doing this, and we're able to do this just because Krishna allows us to do this. He gives us these capacities, qualities, knowledge, everything, and the very idea that it can be done in such way. Someone can say, I have invented something. But who knows who actually invented? Living entity has invented something, or maybe Supreme Lord gave him or gave her any particular idea how to do, how to act in particular situation. Bhakti Priya Madhava Mataji, yes, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, yes. If at all I perform some service assigned to me by my senior, some devotional service, and if I become proud that I have done it, will I be under mode of passion or mode of ignorance? What will make me get this feeling, Prabhuji, that I have done this and I want some appreciation?
Well, Vaishnava culture is such that we express appreciation to each other. It is natural, just out of culture, it should be done. If there is no appreciation at all, it is not good. They should give you some appreciation, not so much maybe, but something they should give, and you should also express gratitude and appreciation to those who are serving nicely. The idea is that if we are in Vaishnava society, and they will help us, they will not allow us to be too much proud. Even if we will become a little bit proud for some time, anyway, it will go away, just because this process of devotional service, it purifies us, it purifies our heart. And also because some of our good friends also can friendly tell us that you became a little bit more proud, that actually it's required. Some people, they can say honestly that it's not good. Or we, using our self-analysis, we can discover that we became a little bit more proud, that it is needed. It is natural that different symptoms that are mentioned in this chapter, sometimes it is manifested. The point is that we should put our faith in Guru Sadhu Shastra much more than in our emotional life and different these emotional waves in our mind, like pride or greed or anger and so on. Means we should be in shelter of senior devotees, and they will be helping us to observe these emotional waves like from some distance, with understanding that actually it is not something which is essential for spiritual life and for our very existence. It is something which comes and goes, like some feeling of that I'm proud, I achieved something, or feeling that I was offended by someone, or any other feeling. Of course, if these feelings are there, or if we offended someone, then of course we should go and beg for forgiveness and do some practical actions. It is not that Krishna consciousness spiritual practice, it is only about neglecting what's going on in our emotional sphere. It is about how to understand. It is about to understand the spiritual meaning, the meaning of what's going on in our mind and our heart, the meaning of this, what it means for my spiritual life, and what it tells about myself, and what it tells about others. And if we are under spiritual guidance, qualified spiritual guidance, then they will help us to understand what's going on with us. Once one devotee, my god brother, he asked Guru Maharaj that I have very responsible service and I have this feeling that I am a really important person and I become proud because so many things depend on me and so on. Maybe I should give up this service if I am becoming so proud. And he told him that no, you don't give up. Just because of performing this service, gradually you will become better. It goes like this. Otherwise, if we will be just rejecting service which makes us proud or whatever, then how we will be purifying our hearts and our consciousness? It is the way how we are purifying our consciousness and developing tolerance. Devotees who are around us, they are developing their tolerance by dealing with us, with our imperfections. And we develop our tolerance by dealing with imperfections of other people. In such way, we are purifying each other. Okay. So, does it answer on your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. So, it is verse number 16. Here, Srila Prabhupada, he writes in purport, he writes, generally, a demoniac person thinks of himself as the supreme God, and the demoniac preacher tells his followers, why you are seeking God elsewhere? You are all yourselves God. Whatever you like you can do. Don't believe in God. Throw away God. God is dead. These are the demoniac's preachings. That is the point. Demoniac preaching means preaching which doesn't help one to become Krishna's servant. Moha-jala, very important term, is used here in the purport. Moha-jala. Jala means net. Moha means illusion. So they are like fish can be caught in a net. The same way demoniac people are caught in moha-jala, in a net of illusion. We are in internet now. It is also net. For someone, it can be net of illusions. For someone, it can be net for enlightenment. It depends what websites we are visiting. It depends on us. It also can be moha-jala, or it can be the way of purification, the way of perfecting our life. Verse number 17, and Taruna Jagannath Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Atma Sambhavita Sattva Dana Mana Badanvitaha Yajante Nama Yachna Isti Dambe Navidi Purvakam. Translation: self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes proudly perform sacrifice in name only, without following any rules or regulation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you see, because they reject religion, demons, they reject religion. But anyway, out of under name of religion, they should perform something just because it is just out of pride. Because of that, they have to concoct something. They have to concoct some rituals, sacrifices, and so on. Self-made religion. It is called self-made religion. Means something which is not authorized. And we have such things in both Western countries and India. Some people, they can claim themselves that they are incarnations of Supreme Lord, or they are very special messengers of Supreme Lord, and they can concoct something. And very nice example is given again in the same 10th canto of Bhagavatam, the same story of Vrikasura. Vrikasura, he concocted his own way to worshipping Lord Shiva. You will read this way, you will read this chapter, and you will be very much impressed what he has concocted. This story of demon Vrikasura from 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. In purport, Srila Prabhupada, he writes, he emphasizes the meaning, he emphasizes that the Sanskrit word avidhi purvakam means disregard for the rules and regulations, is especially stressed here. These things are always due to ignorance and illusion. Disregard for rules and regulations, avidhi purvakam. But anyway, they are determined. Anyway, they can distort spiritual knowledge, they can concoct, but they will be doing all these things with great determination. Vrikasura was also very much determined. You will get to know it from that story from 10th canto of Bhagavatam. Okay, who is the next? And well, Mataji Achyuta, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodam cha samshrita mam atma paradesu pradvisanto abhyasuyaka. Translation: bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust and anger, the demons become envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in their own bodies and in the bodies of others, and blaspheme against the real religion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this verse is very important, verse number 16-18. We know that demoniac personalities are proud, are envious. So from this verse we get the knowledge about the objects of their envy. Means where their envy is directed. It is directed to Supreme Lord, it is directed to Shastra, and it is directed to devotees. It is symptoms of demoniac mentality. Someone is envious and inimical to Supreme Lord. Point number 1, Supreme Lord. Point number 2, sacred scriptures. And point number 3, devotees, spiritual practitioners. Purport: a demoniac person being always against God's supremacy doesn't like to believe in the scriptures. He is envious of both the scriptures and the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is caused by his so-called prestige and his accumulation of wealth and strength. He doesn't know that the present life is the preparation for the next life. Not knowing this, he is actually envious of his own self as well as of others. He commits violence on other bodies and on his own. Again, the story of Vrikasura is very good. How he was committing violence to his own body. And it was his sacrifice to Lord Shiva. He doesn't care for the supreme control of the personality of Godhead because he has no knowledge. Being envious of the scriptures and the supreme personality of Godhead, he puts forward false arguments against the existence of God and denies the scriptural authority. He thinks himself independent and powerful in every action. He thinks that since no one can equal him in strength, power, or wealth, he can act in any way and no one can stop him. If he has an enemy who might check the advancement of his sensual activities, he makes plans to cut him down by his own power. Again, envy is directed to Supreme Lord, to Shastra, to any person who they will consider to be their enemies, and to spiritual practitioners, to devotees. They don't like devotees, they don't like Shastra, they don't like Supreme Lord. They are against, they are inimical. So it is also symptoms of demoniac mentality. And we have few quotes. We have few quotes regarding this. Just let me open these quotes. One quote is from 10th canto of 10th canto of Bhagavatam. It is 10.1.4. 10.1.4. Glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is performed in the Parampara system. That is, it is conveyed from the spiritual master to disciple. Such glorification is relished by those no longer interested in the false temporary glorification of this cosmic manifestation. Descriptions of the Lord are the right medicine for the conditioned soul undergoing repeated birth and death. Therefore, who will cease hearing such glorification of the Lord except a butcher or one who is killing his own self? So the same term Atmaha, or killer of the soul, this term you will also find in Sri Upanishad. This term, it looks a little bit strange because no one can kill soul. It is written in the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. But Atmaha, killer of one's soul, of his own soul, it means that he loses or he destroys his chance for spiritual advancement. It means to kill one soul. And here in this verse 10.1.4, one of the symptoms of Atmaha is given that he is trying to avoid glorification of Supreme Personality of Godhead. He doesn't like to listen. He doesn't like this process of Shravanam. He doesn't like to listen about Lord, His name, fame, and other things. And who will cease hearing such glorification of the Lord except a butcher or one who is killing his own self? Such question is asked here by Shukadeva Goswami, I think. Let's check who is asking this question, Shukadeva Goswami or Maharaja Parikshit. Just let's check it. Maharaja Parikshit. Maharaja Parikshit is asking this question. Maharaja Parikshit, he knows that Shravanam is very important. That's why just 7 days before his departure, he went on the bank of Sacred River to listen Srimad Bhagavatam from Shukadeva Goswami, because he knew how important it is. And one more quote, Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.16. It is also about Atmaha. It is also about killers of their own soul, 11.5.16. Those who have not achieved knowledge of the absolute truth, yet who are still beyond the darkness of complete ignorance, generally follow the threefold path of pious material life, namely religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification. Not having time to reflect on any higher purpose, they become the killers of their own soul. Means dharma, artha, moksha. Dharma, religiosity, dharma, then artha, economic development, and not moksha, kama, sense gratification. Yes, dharma, artha, kama.
Kama moksha.
Yeah, and moksha is not mentioned here because they don't want moksha. They just accept Vedic literature to achieve these three things like religiosity, dharma, just some kind of external religiosity, rituals, just to maintain the level of their pious karma. It is called dharma, then artha, then kama, it is mentioned here. But anyway, moksha is not there in the list. It means they are using Vedas, but not for getting out from samsara, because their idea is to enjoy here in material world. It is called grihavrata, or vow to, or determination to satisfy their senses and to enjoy here. 16.18. Yeah.
Question,
Oh, question. Very nice. Very
if
nice.
we include dharma, artha, kama, moksha, the four things, is it pious activities? Are they pious activities? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha.
Well, better
also
to
mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita
say
earlier, right?
that it is natural elements of Vedic lifestyle, traditional Vedic lifestyle. That, but it is not about bhakti yoga. It is mainly about karma kanda. It is about how to, it is about karma kanda, to maintain some level of piety or to increase this level of piety to such extent that someone will be able to go to heavenly planets for some time. But it is not about bhakti yoga. It is not about how to satisfy Krishna with our service. That's why Vyasadeva, when he compiled Vedas, he was unsatisfied. It is written in first canto of Bhagavatam, this story, that he was not satisfied, and Narada Muni came and he told to Vyasadeva that the reason why he is not satisfied after accomplishing such great work, after dividing Vedas in 4 parts, is that he didn't glorify Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Narada Muni, he gave him instruction to write Srimad Bhagavatam. Means these parts of Vedic knowledge about dharma, artha, kama, it is all it makes human being civilized, but it is not about his relationships with Supreme. It is not about surrender. It is not about dedication. It is about some kind of harmonious religious life, which is allowed and prescribed by Vedas for those who are not interested in Bhakti Yoga yet. But by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we already are here on this top of this mountain. You remember this last verse from 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the yoga ladder. By His mercy, we are already there on the top, and we can chant holy names, and we can come to the essence of the spiritual life. Does that answer on your question?
Well, since the moksha is not in, so dharma, kama, sorry, what is that? Once again.
Dharma, artha, kama, moksha.
If a person having these 3 qualities, are they considered as demons?
Well, that is
not anchoring for moksha.
That is the paradox, because because you see, these processes, they help people to get power. But then the story is also about the mentality of those who are following these processes. It can be demons or it can be demigods. If they are following dharma and artha and kama in regulated way, then they become powerful, and then they are using this power according to their understanding. That's why Srila Prabhupada, he explains it in 8th canto of Bhagavatam. That's why these battles between demigods and demons are going on again and again. Because first, for example, demons are defeated by demigods, and demigods are there on their planets, demigod planets, and they were able to defeat demons because they were following these Vedic injunctions. But after following these injunctions, they relax. They relax, and then they think that Kartaham iti Manite actually were so wonderful people because of us, because of our qualities. We defeated demons. And then demons, they also, meanwhile, they are doing some austerities and accumulating power. And then again, they are moving demigods from their planets. It goes like this. But in both cases, why demons or why demigods, they lose their power? Because both of them, they inclined to forget who is the source of their power. That is the point. Only Shuddha Bhakta, only pure devotee, he always remembers that his power, his capacities, his talents, everything comes from Krishna. But if someone is just pious person or even Prakrita Bhakta, materialistic devotee, he has inclination to forget that everything comes from Krishna. He has inclination to think that it is his, to take the credit. He has inclination to take the credit. The same way, even Lord Brahma in this Brahma Vimohana Lila, you remember this story where he have stolen calves and coward boys, right? He has forgotten for some time that the source of his power is Krishna. He was thinking, oh, I'm so great. So this forgetfulness is always there, especially if one is not pure devotee, Shuddha Bhakta. If one is pure devotee, one of the symptoms is that he is always grateful to Supreme, that he can do some service, and he knows who is the master and who is the servant, and never forgets about this, It is the symptom of a pure devotee. That is the point. And these parts of Vedic literature about Dharma, Artha, Kama, it is about regulated Vedic lifestyle. Not only for pure devotees, or I would say mainly not for pure devotees, but for others. Because for pure devotees, other literatures are given, which these literatures are called Bhakti Shastri. Bhakti Shastri. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. 16.19. Okay, Sarva Loka Pati Krishna Prabhuja. You are not driving today, right? Would you like to read the verse?
Sure, Prabhu.
Okay, great.
So, text 19.
Yes.
Anaham vivasta kuran samsaresu daman kishpa achram suban asru eva yonisu. Translation. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest amongst men, are perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much. So you see, in previous verse, we have read that demons, they are envious to Supreme Lord, to Shastra, to everyone who they consider to be their enemies. And here, the result of this envy is described, that one can get demonic form of life because of this envy, especially envy to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it is quite dangerous to be envious to Krishna. It is dangerous. And we have a quote regarding this point. Srila Prabhupada is saying it is from purport to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila 7.130. Life in demoniac species awaits the Mayavadi philosophers after death because they are envious of Krishna. When Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 9:34, Man mana bhava mad bhakto, mad yaji mam namaskuru, one demoniac scholar says that it is not Krishna to whom one must surrender. This scholar is already suffering in this life, and he will have to suffer again in the next if in this life he doesn't complete his prescribed suffering. One should be very careful not to be envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you see? Because demoniac species are waiting for these Mayavadi philosophers. Actually, who wrote this purport to Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru, Bhagavad Gita 9.34. His name was Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. He is Indian politician. He was Prime Minister or President? The second president after Mahatma Gandhi, I think. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. He wrote his own purport to Bhagavad Gita.
I think president. Radhakrishna is the president of India.
Radhakrishnan. Yeah, he was president. The next one after Mahatma Gandhi, right? If or not?
Mahatma Gandhi was the founder of India for the independence. I don't know. I think some devotees from India can explain this.
Mahatma Gandhi was not involved in this government politics. He helped for getting independence, Prabhu, but he didn't take any position in government.
No position at all?
No position.
Okay.
President, I think first president, I am also not remembering. Second president, as you told, it is Radhakrishna, Sarvapalli Radhakrishna.
Okay, great. So
president was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the first president.
Okay, great. So this Radhakrishnan wrote this purport, his own purport to Bhagavad Gita, and he wrote in the purport to the verse 9:34, Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto, surrender to me. Krishna is saying, surrender to me. And Radhakrishnan explains, actually, we have to surrender not to Krishna, but to something which is unborn, which has no qualities, which is impersonal, and which speaks with us through the form of Krishna. Very strange purport, because if something is impersonal, how this impersonal can speak with us through the form? It is really strange. So when Srila Prabhupada, he came to America, to United States, it was about 500 or 600 different purports to Bhagavad Gita, and most of them, it was just concoctions written by different people, different ideas that have nothing common with message of Parampara. That's why this Bhagavad Gita as it is very important, really important. Hare Krishna, we're going further. So it is dangerous. It is dangerous to be envious to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, our form of life, next form of life, can be strange, can be really strange. Some people, they are thinking that I'm in human form of life, and for me it is guaranteed that next life, if there will be next life I will be human being again. But it is not guaranteed at all. There are so many forms of life. So in these verses from 16:7 to 16:20, different characteristics of demoniac nature were described, and now the last 5 verses were going nicely, nice speed. The next 5 verses, the remedy is described, how to get out from samsara and how to become free from this demoniac mentality. It is exactly what we are going to discuss now. Narottama Prabhuji, please ask your question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, question is regarding the first sentence, the purport, Prabhu. It is mentioned here that the the particular type of body which the soul gets is a prerogative of the supreme will. But usually we know that the Lord doesn't intervene in the karma, no? Because whatever the past karma of that particular soul is getting decides the type of body he will have in the next life. No?
I didn't get your point. Can you explain?
I meant to say that the Lord
something about cats and dogs, right? So what about cats and dogs?
No, my question pertains to the first sentence of the purport of the verse 19.
Okay. Let's look. Let's look what is written here. So what is the question?
So I'm asking that the Lord, does he intervene in the karma of the soul? Because whatever karma the soul, develops in the past life, that will decide the next body he's getting. Well, so the Lord stays aloof of this, no?
He looks, he observes how it happens. We already
he just
have
makes an arrangement, but he doesn't decide. How come he's the prerogative of the supreme will?
What about supreme will? Hari Krishna, what's going on? Yeah. What about supreme will?
No, the supreme will is the supreme Lord. So whatever he decides, he just makes an arrangement. He just arranges everything.
Arranges. Form of a living entity gets form of life according to his karma, his mentality. It is not that Supreme Lord, he decides. He just, there is material nature, which is under his control. Material nature decides. It is not that he has to he has to take all these decisions about numerous living entities. Material nature, it is delegated to material nature. Material nature gives these forms of life.
Okay.
Well, he is involved. Anyway, he is involved because in where it was in 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He is everywhere a super soul. He is able to know what our desires are. He can like we can smell aroma. He can feel the desires. Then he gives orders to material nature, and material nature fulfills. Material nature has to do the needful. Means anyway, Supreme Lord, he is involved in this situation. Yes, he is always involved. And there are so many species of life. So for any mindset, form of life is there. Any particular form of life. Okay, we're going to the verse number 20. We're going to discuss how to get out from this demoniac mindset and from samsara. And this is verse number 20. And what's going on? And Navina something. I don't see it. Is not written. The full name is not written here. Navina Jagateshwari, yeah? Okay, Navina Jagateshwari Mataji, okay.
Asurim yoni kapana mudha janmani mam abrapya eva kaunteya tato yanti adharmam gatim. Translation: attending repeated birth among the species of demonic life. O son of Kunti, such persons can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abdominal type of existence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Burijan Prabhu gives very nice explanation to this verse in his book. We are going to open his book. He gives the explanation on the basis of purports written by previous acharyas. This here. Srila Baladeva Vidyabhushana He is one of previous acharyas. He also wrote. Basically, there are two acharyas who wrote purports to Bhagavad Gita, those purports who we usually quote time to time. Not only Srila Prabhupada's purport, but also there are two authors. The first one is Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur, and the second one is Baladeva Vidyabhushana. So today we are quoting from his purport. Arjuna may ask, but after many lifetimes, they should eventually receive your mercy, by which they will be freed from their demoniac birth. Lord Krishna answers, these foolish persons take birth in demoniac forms of life, birth after birth. Failing to achieve me, they descend to lower forms of life, even taking birth as dogs. In the phrase failing to achieve me, the word eva certainly indicates there is no possibility of my mercy falling upon them. It is even difficult for them to achieve a good form of life that would be a prerequisite to obtain me. The following question can then be raised. But the Supreme Lord automatically has his every desire fulfilled. He can make even the unqualified qualified. The answer is, yes, he could if he had such a desire. But actually he doesn't have even the seed of that desire. Thus, the author of the Vedanta Sutra has described the Lord's partiality in the Sutra Vaishamya Naigrinye. The Supreme seems to be unfair because of his partiality to some and his enmity toward others. So it looks like he is cruel. He is punishing these demoniac persons. It looks like he has no desire to liberate them. It is an interesting point. So to explain this subject matter, we have to remind ourselves about this verse from Bhagavad Gita, from 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Ye yatha mam prapadyante, tam stathaiva bhajam yaham, mama vartmanu vartante, manushyah partha, sarvashaha. It means, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. Means he reciprocates according to the desires and actions of a living entity. So Baladeva Vidyabhushana explains that when Krishna, he is saying here in a previous verse, here in verse number 19, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence into various demoniac species of life. It looks like he is punishing. It looks like he is punished. He is not punishing, he is reciprocating. Because they don't have desire to come back to Krishna, to reestablish these relationships with Krishna. So it is his reciprocation to them. The same way, because they don't have desire to come back to Krishna. And his reciprocation, ye yathamam prapadyante, tam stathaiva bhajam yaham. Because of that, his reciprocation is also that he is not interested to give them liberation. It is just the way how he reciprocates. At the same way, in purport, it is the explanation given by Baladeva Vidyabhushana. At the same way, in purport, Srila Prabhupada's purport, we can find such explanation. The placing of the asuras, the demons, in the lowest stages of life is simply another feature of his mercy. Sometimes the asuras are killed by the Supreme Lord, but this killing is also good for them, for in Vedic literature we find that anyone who is killed by the Supreme Lord becomes liberated. There are instances in history of many asuras, Ravana, Kamsa, Hiranyakashipu, to whom the Lord appeared in various incarnations just to kill them. Therefore, God's mercy is shown to the asuras if they are fortunate enough to be killed by him. So it can be accepted as reciprocation. It can be accepted as mercy also. He is all merciful. It is one of the qualities of Supreme Lord. He is all merciful. It is not that all types of His mercy we can understand that it is mercy or accept as it is His mercy. But anyway, it is His mercy. And by developing spiritual intelligence, we get this opportunity to understand that actually it was His mercy. Tesham satata yuktanam, pajatam priti purvakam, dadami buddhi yogam tam, yenamam upayantite Bhagavad Gita 10:10. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. This is the main idea, the main process, just remain in the process of devotional service. If we are in this process, then Krishna will be giving us more and more spiritual intelligence, and gradually we will understand much more about ourselves, about Krishna, and about our past in devotional service. Means why Krishna allowed such and such situation to happen, and why my life was going on like that. And the understanding, the intelligence is needed here to understand it. And if we are in the process of devotional service, if we just remain in this process of devotional service, trying to serve with love and constantly, then gradually we will understand much more things about ourselves, about this life, about Krishna. Krishna will give such understanding. Bhagavad Gita 16.21.
Prabhu, just one question. Prabhu.
Oh, very nice question. Okay.
Prabhu, the previous verse is written that demoniac species of life. Is it a human platform or animal platform?
I'm not getting the question. The previous verse, right?
Yeah, 19. Last sentence.
Last sentence. This one. Yeah?
19. 16, 19. Is it 16, 19?
No. It is 20. Okay, 19. The last one. The many kinds of hunters. In the jungle.
Considered belongs to demonic. Are they in the human platform or animal platform? Human platform, right?
Well, usually they are humans. They can speak Hindi or Marathi or so many languages you have in India. Actually, about 20 languages, right? 20. About 20 languages. Yes, they can speak. They can speak. Even monkeys, they are not speaking, but they can speak. Means they are humans. Does it answer on your question?
Yeah, why I'm asking this is that all they are demoted to animals platform. They don't have the capacity to progress or think of God. Whereas the human platform, there are 400,000 categories. As long as a soul goes into the human platform, it has an opportunity to think about God. That's what I'm trying to put in.
Well,
animals don't have, there's no karma.
If someone is a demon, he will not be thinking about God. He doesn't like this idea. He is envious to God. To be a demon, again, it is state of consciousness. It is not form of life. It is state of consciousness, first of all.
Oh, consciousness, okay.
Yes, of course. One can have any form of life. Just by association, he can degrade his consciousness. We can elevate our consciousness or degrade our consciousness just by taking particular association. That is the point. Thank you very much for the question. Verse number 21. Mataji Divya, would you like to read the verse?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Tribidam narakashedam dwaram nash rodas tata lobas tasmad eta trayam tyajed. Translation: There are 3 gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you see, in previous verses, destiny of demoniac living entities was described, and the question raises what to do, and the answer is given in this verse 16.21. Means one has to take proper decision. The decision is that there is lust, anger, greed. I have to give it up. It is my decision, and one should be determined in this. To give up again and again, to give up lust, to give up anger, to give up greed, because these 3 gates are leading to hell: lust, anger, and greed. This conception of gates is typical for Vedic literature. Like, for example, in 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we can find the verse given by Lord Kapiladev. Lord Kapiladev is saying about our attachment to saintly people. Moksha dvara apavritam. If someone is attached to saintly people, then the gates for liberation, moksha dvara, gates for liberation, are widely opened for such living entity. So the same way, if someone is lusty or angry or greedy, then he can or she can open these gates to hell. And the solution is, if one doesn't want this destiny of demoniac living entity, one has to take this decision to give up lust, anger, and greed. And everything is based on lust. And now I am going to show you some more verses from Bhagavad Gita. It is 3rd chapter. Just let's remind ourselves about these verses. 3rd chapter, verses from 36. Arjuna is asking Krishna, by what is one impelled to sinful acts even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into rage, and which is all devouring sinful enemy of this world. And here in these verses, Krishna explains, thus, knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind, and intelligence, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength conquer this enemy known as lust. Again, we are speaking about spiritual power, spiritual strength, which is needed to overcome these weaknesses of the heart. This power and this Viveka Shakti discrimination power one can get from Shastra. You cannot generate this strength, this spiritual strength, just by your own efforts or by some philosophical or mental speculations. We can get it if we take shelter from sacred scriptures. Otherwise, there is no chance to have this spiritual strength which is needed to conquer lust, greed, and anger. We're going further, verse number 22. And Manju Bhashani Vishnu Priya Mataji, Hare Krishna. Manju Bhashani Vishnu Priya Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hari Hari Bol. We cannot hear you. Can you hear us? Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Good
Text
evening.
Etir Vimukta Kaundya Thamo Drivas Tribir Nara Acharete Atmana Shreyas Tato Yati Param Gati. Translation: The man who has escaped these three gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs acts connected to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Okay. So you see, the result is described here. If we are trying to avoid these three gates that are leading to hell, greed, lust, and anger, what happens? It is described here in this verse, 16.22. Self-realization will be there, and one will attain the supreme destination. What is really important to understand is that our environment and this civilization which is around us, this civilization is actually demoniac civilization. This civilization is always trying to inspire us for lust, for greed, for anger. These cultural things are there. And if we want to escape from this banyan tree of material existence, we have to resist. We have to resist from these things. And what does it mean practically? It means that there are many books and there are many YouTube channels and websites, and it is much more important to read Krishna books about Krishna, Srila Prabhupada's books that lead us to spiritual dimension, that are explaining us what does it mean Bhakti Yoga, because there are different books. There is mundane literature, and there is literature which is spiritual literature. And Narada Muni in Srimad Bhagavatam, he compares these literatures with different things. Just let me find this place. Maybe you know this comparison about swans and crows. Just let's see where it is. It is here, or it is another, chapter. Okay, I'm trying to understand which chapter it was. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Where it is? Very strange. Just one moment. 1510. Okay. 1510. Nice comparison is given here. Those words which don't describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly persons to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for crows, since the all-perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they don't derive any pleasure there. Mundane literature is compared with a place of pilgrimage for crows. Of pilgrimage for crows, it is place where a lot of garbage is thrown out, and they are taking pleasure there. It is verse 1510. It is Srimad Bhagavatam. On the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc. of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed toward bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. It is Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th chapter of 1st canto. We are inviting you on Bhakti Vaibhava course also. You take Bhakti Shastri course, then you take Bhakti Vaibhava course. You also study Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada, he explains in his purport about transcendental literature which can be imperfectly composed. In the purport to this verse 1511, he writes, in very humble way, he writes, I'm a foreigner and this English language is not native language for me. So because of that, it is not that I will be expressing my thoughts perfectly in English language. But anyway, because this spiritual message is so important, anyway, we are giving this message in such form, and it will be beneficial for everyone. Okay, we're going further. So, if one has escaped 3 gates of hell, then self-realization is there, supreme destination is there. Again, 3 gates of hell, it means greed, lust, and anger. In Nectar of Instruction, you will get more knowledge about this, because we have particular verses about this. The first verse of Nectar of Instruction, it is about anger and lust. The questions, these subject matters are discussed there. And in the second verse of Nectar of Instruction, atyahara, or overeating, over-consuming, is described. It is manifestation of greed. When one is greedy, then he accumulates a lot of things around himself, or he likes to eat a lot. Atyahara, it is called atyahara. It is not good for spiritual advancement. So these regulations are there. You will get to know this about this. And we are going to the verse number 23. 16:23. Dwarkadish Prabhuji, would you like to read the verse?
Okay.
Okay.
Text 23. Ya sastra vidhimustriya vartate kama karatha nasa siddhim avapnoti nasukam na param gatim. Translation: He who discards spiritual injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness.
Hari Bol. Thank you very much. No perfection, no happiness, no supreme destination. So you see, the previous verse, it was positive motivation. What you will get if you will be following this process, you will get self-realization, you will get supreme destination. Then verse 16:23, it is negative motivation. You will not get perfection, will not be happy, will not get supreme destination if you will be acting according to your whims. It is actually the way how demonic personalities are living. They are not following Dharma, means they are not following the orders of Supreme Lord or the orders of Spiritual Master. They don't like that. They don't like to listen any orders. They are doing whatever they like. The word kama karataha is very significant. A person who knowingly violates the rules acts in lust. He knows that it is forbidden, but still he acts. This is called acting whimsically. He knows that this should be done, but still he knows that this should be done, but still he does not do it. Therefore, he is called whimsical. Such persons are destined to be condemned by the Supreme Lord. Such persons cannot have the perfection which is meant for the human life. The human life is especially meant for purifying one's existence, and one who doesn't follow the rules and regulations cannot purify himself, nor can he attain the real stage of happiness. So we can listen to the classes of our spiritual masters, and we can see that he is trying to convince us using both ways. By negative motivation, by positive motivation. Usually this combination works nicely. And the last verse of this chapter, and the last verse for today, verse number 24, 1624, Narottama Prabhuji, would you like to read the verse?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya karya vyavastito gyanva shastra vidanuktam karma kartum ihar asi. Translation. One should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Doing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So you see, Krishna says here that you follow Shastra, and Shastra will give you this Viveka Shakti, or discrimination power, to understand what is our duty and what is not duty, what to do and what should not be done. It is again, we will repeat the same point. It is the power which is given by Shastra, and which is rejected by demons, because demons, they reject Shastra, and because of that they have no access to this Viveka Shakti, or discrimination power. So Krishna, he is saying here that you please use this power which is given to you through these sacred scriptures. Again, the verse from 15th chapter. Vidayascha sarvair aham eva vidyo vidanta krit vedavit eva chaham. I'm one who has to be known by Vedas. I'm one who knows Vedas. I'm compiler of the Vedas. You know this verse, right? Sarvasya chaham hridisani vishto. Matach smritirgyanam apochanam cha. Vidayascha sarvair aham eva vidyo vidanta krit vedavit eva chaham. 15.15. So here in this verse, Krishna, he is saying that actually he is compiler of Vedas, he is the author, and he is one who knows these Vedas better than anyone else. And we have a quote. Srila Prabhupada is saying about these things here in his Bhagavad Gita class. 17th chapter, verses from 1 to 3, Honolulu, 4th of July, 1974. He is saying, one has to come to the platform of Sattva Guna. Without coming to the platform of Sattva Guna, nobody can advance in spiritual life. That is a fact. Just like nobody is allowed to enter the law college unless he is graduate. This restriction is there. What he will understand? He must be a graduate. So similarly, first of all, one has to come to the platform of Sattva Guna. Then spiritual knowledge begins. Because spiritual knowledge is above Sattva Guna. So Sattva Guna is the best quality when one brain is clear and he can see things as they are, no hazy understanding, but clear understanding. So we were already speaking when we were discussing 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, modes of material nature, that there is Sattva Gun, mode of goodness, and it is like stepping stone before we enter spiritual dimension. Everything starts from sattvic qualities. And these demoniac qualities are not sattvic qualities. Demoniac qualities are in Rajagun, in Tamagun. It is like impediment for spiritual advancement. The same way before entering law college, one has to be graduated. One has to take another level of education, which is before entering the law college. The same way, before we enter spiritual dimension, we have to be fixed in mode of goodness. And this mode of goodness it is about divine qualities that are mentioned in the very beginning of 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Again, we're discussing these qualities in first verses of 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and there is another verse from from 7th canto of Bhagavatam, where Narada Muni, he gives almost the similar list of qualities, and he says that it is actually qualities of civilized person, civilized man. So these qualities are needed. It is like stepping stone before real transcendental spiritual life. And we are going back to the purport, and we will read a little bit from there. As far as you remember, usually the essence of the whole chapter is given in the purport to the last verse of the chapter, right? It is tradition which Srila Prabhupada usually follows. And in purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, we will read the last paragraph. Actually, the last paragraph summarizes not only the 16th chapter, but also chapter 14 about modes of material nature, and chapter number 15 about this Purushottama Yoga. All these things are here all together. In human society, aversion to the principles of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of all fall downs. Actually, it summarizes in chapter number 13 also. It summarizes everything. In human society, aversion to the principles of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of fall downs. That is the greatest offense of human life. Therefore, Maya, the material energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always giving us trouble in the shape of the threefold miseries. This material energy is constituted of the three modes of material nature. One has to raise himself at least to the mode of goodness before the path to understanding the Supreme Lord can be opened. Without raising oneself to the standard of the mode of goodness, one remains in ignorance and passion, which are the cause of demoniac life. Again, these two modes of material nature, tamas and rajas, are related to demoniac qualities, and sattva gun is related to divine qualities. Those in the modes of passion and ignorance deride the scriptures, deride the holy man, and deride the proper understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They disobey the instructions of the spiritual master, and they do not care for the regulations of the scriptures. In spite of hearing the glories of devotional service, they are not attracted. And because of that, they become atmaha, killers of their own souls, like we have read from these verses from 10th canto of Bhagavatam, 11th canto of Bhagavatam. Thus, they manufacture their own way of elevation. These are some of the defects of human society which lead to the demoniac status of life. If, however, one is able to be guided by a proper and bona fide spiritual master, who can lead one to the path of elevation, to the higher stage, then one's life becomes successful. Hare Krishna. Again, this Guru Tattva is mentioned in Nectar of Devotion. You will find 64 angas, 64 processes of devotional service are mentioned there, and the first 5 processes are related to our relationships with spiritual master. To accept a spiritual master, to take his shelter, to get initiation from him, to serve him, to ask questions like this. So it is the essence and the very beginning and foundational things if we are speaking about spiritual life. Okay, devotees, if you have some questions or thoughts, please share your thoughts or questions.
Just one question.
Mm-hmm.
The Deva worshippers, they may be in the modes of passion, How do we categorize them?
Well, we can categorize at least in two types. One category of them is those who are thinking that some particular demigods are Svatantra Ishvaras. Svatantra Ishvara means independent controller, means that he is the highest one. And it is not proper. It is not proper way to worship or to offer our respect to demigods. And the proper way to respect demigods is to understand that they are servants of Krishna, that there is Supreme Lord, and demigods, they actually also belong to Jiva Tattva. We are Jiva Tattvas, they are also Jiva Tattvas. It is just another species of form of life. But they are also living entities, and they are parts and parcels of Krishna. We're trying to serve Krishna, and they are trying, and they have much more power, like demigod Surya or demigod Chandra. They can do much more than we can do now in our position. Some of these demigods are Prakrita Bhaktas, means they are attached to the situation that they can control a lot of things. They are attached to these positions. And Shuddha Bhakta or pure devotee is not attached. He is ready to serve Supreme Lord in any circumstances. He is not attached to any power or whatever. And demigods mainly, they are attached. And if to speak about worshipping, usually we don't worship them, but we respect them as Krishna's servants. We respect them as Krishna's servants, and we understand that they are powerful living entities, and but they are not Svatantra Ishvaras. They are not Svatantra Ishvaras. In India, you can find people who will tell that it is very typical for some Indian worshippers. Some people will tell all God is one. Maybe you have heard such statement, all God is one. It means that any form of Krishna, form of Ganesha, form of Shiva, doesn't matter. It is all about this. It is all about the same. But there is an analogy given by Srila Prabhupada which helps us to understand that it is not the same. He is saying, for example, you are going on a railway station and you are buying a ticket to a particular station from Delhi to, let's say, to Bhuvaneshwar, for example. From Delhi to Bhuvaneshwar, this particular ticket you take, and you can use this ticket. You can go to Bhuvaneshwar using this ticket, or you can go to any particular station which is on the route. But you cannot go in opposite direction using the same ticket. So the same way. Like there are different tickets, the same way there are different personalities, and even there are different demigods, and even from point of view of functionality, it is not all the same. And Krishna, he is all powerful, and he is the source of everything. All functionality is his functionality, so we are just praying to Supreme Lord Shri Krishna whatever we need. And if it is needed, maybe he will ask some of these demigods to do something. We don't have to, so many demigods, a lot of demigods. And if we will be trying to satisfy each and every demigod, we don't have such income, we don't have so much material resources. But Krishna is, but it is quite easy to satisfy Krishna. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Yume bhaktya prayachhati. Just give me fruit or flower or water. He can be satisfied very easily. And then he will arrange whatever is needed. We should do the best, our best, and Krishna will do the rest. It is our devotional policy. Hare Krishna.
There are one more question, Prabhu. There are two kind of categories.
Okay.
Those who are praying to the or worshipping to the devas, consider them as a personal form. There are another category, worshipping, they believe in the Supreme Lord in impersonal form. These two are the same, or these two are two different levels? I may understand two different levels. Which is more demoniac?
Well, in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it was already written that there is personal way of worshipping and there is impersonal way of worshipping, and impersonal way is much more difficult. So even Krishna, he doesn't recommend impersonal form of worship, impersonal way of worshipping. And he is saying that this process of personal worshipping, when we worship to Archa Vigraha of Krishna, and we can see this form, and we can dress the deity, we can feed deity, and we can do abhishek, it is much more better. And again, if we are speaking about demigods, then what is the use to worship them without dealing with any form of demigod? Demigod has a form. Impersonal Brahman doesn't have a form. But demigod, each and every demigod has particular form. So, of course, it would be better to use this form if someone is demigod worshipper, but much more better to worship Krishna only. It is one of the qualities of devotee, according to the list of devotional qualities, 26 qualities listed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And one of the quality is Krishna Eka Sharanam. It is essential quality. Svarupa Lakshanam. It is called Svarupa Lakshanam. Krishna Eka Sharanam means he is devoted to Krishna only. He takes Sharanam, he takes shelter only of Krishna. Means there is no need of any demigods. But if we are saying that there is no need of demigods, it doesn't mean that we neglect them. We respect them, but we are not worshipping them just because Srila Prabhupada didn't give us such way of practice to worship to the demigods because of that.
In that form, Prabhu, just because what I'm trying to understand here, the Deva worshippers in the form of personal form, compared to the Supreme Lord in the impersonal form, the Deva worshipper in the form of a personal form is compared to better compared to the impersonal, because at least they have some kind of form believing rather than impersonal believing.
Are they better or not? Again, it depends on what is their understanding about position of demigods. If they are thinking that demigods are Svatantra Ishvaras, that they are supreme, or if they are thinking that all God is one, then it is mistake, it is not good. Then they are not in superior position in this case. If they understand, ideally, people, they should understand that Krishna is supreme. They should understand this. But some people, of course, they don't know or they don't understand. So we can go to their houses with Srila Prabhupada's books, and we can try to distribute these books to these people. Maybe they will understand more like this.
Why I ask this question is because in the form of a Deva form, personal form, they will, or they may come into the understanding there must be a Supreme Lord in a personal form.
Yeah.
Whereas the impersonal form, they may not come to a conclusion there is a form of a God. That's what I'm trying to look into that.
Okay. Yeah, if it really will help them to understand that there is someone who is beyond these demigods. But again, what is the need to worship demigods and to wait when this understanding will come if Srila Prabhupada's books are already there? One can save a lot of time, one can just go to the essence, one can just take Bhakti Yoga process, that's all. Why should one wait for this realization? We can save a lot of time. That is the point. Okay, devotees, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you.
See you day after tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Vanchakal Ptarubhyas Chakri Pasin Bevacha Patitanam Pavana Bhyo Vaishnava Bhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Hare Bol. Хари Кришна.
Hare Krishna.